me? Flow is on atomic, I'm starting fires through poetry. The heart is out, staying loyal, no falling out. And if you step into the court, be ready, we ballin' out. Yeah, the coldest of teens, they know what we bring, don't try us. Ain't no in between, we go for these dreams in silence. Hard work, don't mistake it for magic. We been shooting in the gym, this is target and practice, yeah. And I'm just getting started, get my feet wet. It's all in repetition, ain't a secret. All facts, all black dress code. Pay me my respect, collecting every debt. Oh, the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back to Jerez de la Frontera. Welcome back to the circuito de Jerez, Ángel Nieto. that racetrack in the south of Spain, which bears the name of one of Spain's biggest sporting legends, the 12+1 time world champion Angelito. Greatly missed and a true fan of motorsports, no matter what was the number of wheels. Today, in this venue that has seen so many two-wheel racing great shows, we are doubling the number of wheels. We are going 4 wheels. We are going with the E3 Euro Cup 3. So it's time for us to enjoy the last race of the weekend, last race of the class of the championship of this weekend, last race also of the day. So it's time for Euro Cup 3 to go on the track, and after what we've seen this morning in a frankly very unexpected turn of events in E4, I think we will all be aching to see these drivers go on track and show us a good show. So it's time for us to enjoy the time at Jerez. It's nice weather, nice temperature. It's getting warmer and warmer. And of course, we have our man on the grid, Miguel Portillo, who's already accompanied by the things that we like and love the most in the world, racing cars. Miguel, how are you doing?
Alex, hello everybody. Here we are down to the grid. Let's go racing. We are waiting all the cars to come in. That's the grid to roll in. And we are waiting for the man in pole position. Everybody's talking about him, Gladysz. He's a man who is working with MP for a long years. He have been watching all his career. And yesterday, Alex, he should have been on pole position. But in the last moment, they got traffic. So everybody said, okay, on Sunday, he's going to fight for the win. And you know what happened? He's on pole position. So I don't know who is the man who can reach or who can get this win. But I would say, Alex, I would bet for him.
Definitely, that is a good bet. But I can tell you that what for sure is the case in Euro Cup 3 so far is that we are seeing a great group of rookie drivers. We have Matías Gladysz from that pole position. We also have Jules Caranta, one of the great standouts from yesterday. He made a great recovery race in that sprint race. He's starting from the first row in P2. And we also have, of course, our Mattia Colnaghi starting from 4th place, just behind Nicola Torov. But, Miguel, something happened this morning in qualifying, which brought 2 important rookie drivers to the back of the grid. We do not see at the top neither Juan Cota nor James Egozzi. And, of course, you can tell us why, what happened there.
Yeah, everybody have to know that qualifying, there's not so many time, only 20 minutes, not always you have a clean lap. And when Juan Cota, who was in 3rd position, was pushing to try to reach at a fight for the pole position, he got 5 track limits. So his lap was erased. Egozzi also got his lap erased. So both of them back to the grid, and they're gonna try to fight back and try to reach at least the point. It's gonna be very difficult. But that's why we don't have these 2 important drivers on the first slot. So what a tricky moment, what a pity. But we also have some guys who are going to fight to Gladysz for the win.
Of course, for them it is a shame, but I think, Miguel, you're going to agree with me that having 2 competitive drivers starting from the back of the grid means that we are going to have a great show. Because we saw that yesterday with Caranta, when there's a fast driver starting from the back, there's always a chance for overtaking and for seeing a good recovery. Well, we could make a small bet. We can check this at the end of the race. How far do you think Cota and Egozzi could arrive? Do you think you said points were difficult, but maybe, you know, maybe we can be optimistic. I can say that maybe they can reach to the points.
Let's keep the faith as high as possible. It's so difficult to overtake here and in this circuit, the old school circuit of Jerez. But we have seen that Cota is so brave. He can put the car inside where nobody can. And let's see if he can do it. Here we're watching the guy who have to fight for the victory with Gladysz Caranta, one of the best guys, a Frenchman, one of the best one in Formula 4, the French Formula 4. And everybody say that he's a good man. He has a lot of steps and a lot of possibilities in the future, and he wants to continue the way that Hadjar did. So if you saw Hadjar in Formula 3 and Formula 2, he's the man who is taking his step. Alex, I want to show you one guy who only stay here in the championship for this weekend. It's Solov. Look at him.
Yes, exactly, one of the Red Bull supported drivers, in this case, the highest place veteran driver, who will have to fight, as you said, with Jules Caranta, another of the Red Bull drivers. He finished third last year in French Formula 4. So, well, he's going straight into the Euro Cup 3, which is a big, big jump, but he has shown that he can do it. And as I always say in these cases, you know, if you are matching Nikola Tsolov's pace in terms of one lap speed, I think you are doing something very, very well. And the rookies are doing it. We saw Jules Caranta ahead. We saw, of course, Gladysz. We saw as well Mattia Colnaghi just behind. I think you're going to walk towards the Italian-Argentinian. So what I'm happy is that we have very many good rookies. And you know, rookies are always exciting. New names, new speed, new driving styles. And that is what makes us enjoy racing and motorsport.
But Alex, these rookies seems that they have been fighting and racing for the whole year or the whole life. I mean, because Colnaghi yesterday saw that he has the pace, he's so brave, and he has to manage every situation. So the winner of the Formula 4 is fighting here. Yesterday got his very first victory, his maiden victory, and today he's going to try to fight from this 4th position. I mean, he's going to fight against the Red Bull. It's super important because Red Bull is always focusing on watching all his driver in all categories, and if you manage to fight with them, against them, and go among them in this race, everybody's going to watch to see you. And also, all the Argentinian fans who we all know, Alex, they are behind and follow us, they are going to support a little bit Colnaghi. So Italy and Argentina supporting this man.
Oh, absolutely. I can guarantee that. The Argentinian fans, as you know very well, they are super passionate, and we love having them with us, as we love having also the very, very passionate Polish fans who will be rooting for Gladysz. And, you know, I was also looking at the grid, and I noticed something that we always talk about, and which is this classic duel in Euro Cup 3 between Campos and MP Motorsport. We have the 10 of the 11 first drivers belonging to these two teams. What is it that makes this so clear for them? What is it that makes it work for them? Of course, they are the biggest teams, but they also have a lot of experience and very, very good drivers. Can you see any other team being able to fight with them?
Well, I mean, there have been some surprise last Drivix coming inside and join the fight. But I mean, for sure, they are the best in this position. Griffin, that they are working also with Campos and KCL, but also working with MP. I think all the teams that are working with them are among the greatest team, and they're going to fight among each other in between them. I mean, if you want to fight in this championship, maybe you can join one of these two teams. I mean, and the fight is super stable among them. I mean, there could be like 7 drivers working in their teams that they're going to fight for every win. So let's see what happens here. But Colnaghi have a chance. Also, Tsolov has a chance. Almost fighting.
And we are seeing now then, as the cars get on track, because we are starting the formation lap. Thank you very much, Miguel Portillo. That was all the information straight from the starting grid. And of course, as our man on the field was mentioning, if you are looking at racing in Euro Cup 3, maybe you would be doing well to look at these two squads that have been dominating the series for the past few years. And of course, you could also keep in mind that all the teams can give surprises. Palou Motorsport and Drivex have been able to occasionally join the fray, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't do it again in the next few rounds. Of course, this final race of the weekend here in Jerez has everything set up. The grid is set. We are seeing the starting grid order on the left side of your screens, and as I can imagine, many will be looking to see if Gladysz is able to defend himself from Jules Caranta, starting from second place on the grid. This is the classic duel, as we always say, MP and Campos, and that will be fought once again in this old school circuit of Jerez. That will be the last visit of the championship, of the Spanish Winter Championship here in Jerez, but of course we will be back later during the year for the regular season. So as we review the starting grid, we are seeing, of course, Maciej Gladysz taking that pole position ahead of Kananta, Solov, Colnaghi, and Carrasquedo, rounding out the top 5, followed by Wurz, Intrafubasak, Fittipaldi, Cárdenas, and Abkasaba on that top 10 points area. Behind them, Macedo, Barashi, Lambert, Morano, Cantu, Stuka, Reed, Castillo, Blokina, Helberg, and Feldman. And of course, we have to think of the drivers in the back, especially behind also Hideg and Castillo. We have to take consideration of Juan Cota and James Egozzi, two drivers who were very, very, very quick on Saturday, who were two of the big shows, and of course they will be wanting to recover. I think if they have a good start, they could potentially think of reaching the point-paying positions, but that will hinge, of course, on having a good first few kilometers. In the meantime, of course, all the drivers are getting back to the grid, getting back to their assigned slots, and so soon we will be having a race start. In this case, hopefully not interrupted, not aborted, not stopped, not delayed, as it was the case with the E4. And so we are seeing James Egozzi at the back of the grid, getting into his position, and that will mean the race is about to start. Green flag at the end of the grid. Everything is prepared, everything is set, and the lights go off, and away we go here in Jerez. And we have a good start by Jules Caranta, who is able to take first place from Maciej Gladysz, who defends his second place strongly, with Nicolas Solov trying to follow his Red Bull teammate, or his Red Bull mate. And we have Caranta going ahead in first. The French driver managing to take that lead of the race, steal it from the Polish driver, Maciej Gladysz, who takes second for the time being, but he will try to fight back. And one chance is here at the back straight. He takes the slipstream of the leading driver, trying to get that side by side. He might have to make a late lunge. He's not brave enough maybe to try it. Nicolas Solov does do it from the outside and makes it stick. That is two Red Bull liveried machines in the top two positions, but the differences between them are basically nothing. What a moment by these two drivers, the two Red Bull drivers who were starting from P2 and P3 on the grid and have gone up to the two first places. I am sure there is a certain former Austrian racing driver who will be very happy. Not exactly the same as these guys. We are seeing two drivers out of track. That would have been Ines Helberg and Castillo from Centerlock Racing as well. And we are completing now the first lap of the race, with Caranta having approximately half a second on Solov and trying to run away with that lead. It would be crucial for him to be able to do that. If he can continue to push at his own pace, that is exactly what he will want to do. And we know that the Red Bull stable is relentless in what they ask of their drivers. So if you want to reach Formula 1, if you want to follow the footsteps of Isaac Hadja, then yes, you need to win from the get-go. And that was the number 10 car on the pit lane. That was, of course, Lorenzo Castillo, having to come back to the pit to replace that front wing, damaging the contact that he had with Helberg. Meanwhile, ahead, we are seeing the two Red Bull drivers pulling away from Gladysz lightly, but separated by almost nothing between them. Just over 3 tenths between them. And even though we know Overtaking in Jerez is no easy business. 3/10 is basically nothing, and it means every lap is a chance. This is the fight between the Red Bull drivers. One is a rookie, one is not. And unlike what most would expect, it is Caranta, the less experienced driver, who is right now at the front. Again, we will be repeating ourselves quite often these few times, but we are seeing a fantastic crop of new rookies joining the battle. And remember, we talked about the possible recovery drive from the racers who were starting from the back, those competitive racers. We were talking about James Egozzi and Juan Cota. Well, they are right now in P15 and P20 respectively. That is a not too shabby achievement so far, especially by Egozzi, whom we are seeing, if I am not mistaken, do this attack once again. And that is a wonderful overtake by Egozzi. Up the hill, defending now the inside, and continuing his progress. Now following Morano in P13. I think with 25 minutes ahead, Egozzi has everything he needs to get back to the points paying positions. And we're back with the leaders. Gladysz is pushing hard to get to those two Red Bull machines. Yes, they have the honor of showing those Formula 1 colors, but he has the honor of having taken pole position. He knows he's quick, and he will want to remind them. Caranta keeps on the lead. Soloff just behind him. Small differences. And Gladysz, of course, following them as close as he can, as close as he dares, as close as his machine will allow him for now. There is a small cut to Mattia Colnaghi, now occupying this 4th place. And he himself has an interesting group of followers behind, starting with Intra Povasak with that 5th place. He will be an uncomfortable travel companion. But if there is one thing that uncomfortable travel companions make, is for good racing. So that we enjoy. Caranta keeping the lead. It's 4 laps that we are going to be completing when we next cross the finish line. And we always keep an eye on what Egozzi is doing, and as we say that, we see the ticker on the left side showing us that he has indeed raised another position and gone up to P13. The top 10 inching ever so closer. And Caranta is pushing hard, trying to get away from Soloff, almost on 1 second. That could be decisive if he's able to pull away 2 or 3 more tenths. Because after that second, things always start to look more complicated for the driver following behind. Now getting again into the hairpin after the back straight. It's over a second between Caranta and Soloff. And now he's actually much closer to Gladysz behind than to Caranta ahead. The Bulgarian driver with good experience in Spanish motorsport, both in Spanish Formula 4, Eurocup 3 as well, and lately even in FIA F3. So he's a driver with international experience, very solid experience, which is why we always say, if you are matching Soloff, you are doing something very, very right. Egozzi up to 12. Dakota is also up to 19th place. The two drivers who were fighting for those podium positions yesterday now recovering on the race. And I think it is safe to say that Egozzi has once again been the man to give us a show. Over 1 second between the first two place drivers. That is starting to look pretty good for Jules Caranta. As we mentioned earlier, Jules Caranta, third place driver in the 2024 season of French Formula 4. He finished just a few points behind Yanni Steven Haydens, the Belgian driver whom we have seen in E4. So he has been one of the drivers who has made perhaps one of the most difficult jumps from 2024 to 2025. But of course, one has to remember that he also had this experience in Formula 4 UAE in the Middle East in 2024. Oh, and that is quite a big hard hit by number 17. That is the Drivex machine from Lenny Reed. And while I see that number 17 there, seems to be another car next to it. I cannot view it properly, and now we will. And this is more than side by side, this is a proper wheel to wheel. And wheel to wheel indeed. A crash between Adam Hideg and Lenny Reed, which will end with both cars out of the race. And we have our first safety car. Well, things are happening in here again. In this case, we have a neutralized race due to this incident. Exiting the old dry slack hairpin. And well, this will not be particularly interesting for Jules Caranta, who was pushing hard to try and run away from his rivals, from Soloff and Gladysz. And he will lose all that hard-gained advantage. Well, nothing else but to sit on your broken wheel. And that is the, of course, disappointment. Impossible to hide in this case. While we are seeing the Technicar machine from E4 moving Aris Petrovic's car. Because while we watch the Eurocup 3 cars, of course, the activities in the pit lane continue with the other classes. But for now, what we see is drivers who are cooling down a little bit, taking a small breather. And while this may sound inane, this is actually very important. And sometimes it is the race engineers who have to actually tell their drivers, breathe properly, do not forget to breathe. Now it is important to, you know, relax for a little bit, move your body, stretch your fingers so that they do not get too stressed out, so that you can continue to do your job the best you can. And that includes what Nicola Tsoloff was doing now, warming your tires, making sure they are at the right temperature, because soon he will have to be pushing again. For now, we are seeing the trackside assistants working on those two stranded cars of Lenny Reed and Adam Hideg. What a shame that we have, well, this interruption in what was proving to be quite a tense race, especially at the top with these three drivers fighting for the win. And that recovery race that James Egozzi was carrying out But well, here's another advantage for the Palo Motorsport driver, because now, yes, you will have a little bit less time to recover. But this interruption will bring the whole group together, will bunch everyone together. So he will be closer not just to P10 or P11, but also to the drivers ahead. And this is actually, in fact, James Egozzi. We saw him with the number 48. As you no doubt know, those drivers who are new to the championship, who are rookies, are driving with these race numbers noted in red, both in the timing screens and of course on the liveries of the cars. Luckily, we're seeing that the work is proceeding apace here next to the track, and that should hopefully mean that we will get track action very, very soon. Also, this is what we are hoping to get. And we have our man on the track, our man on the pit lane, Miguel Portillo. Once again, we have a safety car. This has been quite a day, hasn't it?
Alex, what a weekend. I mean, we have had a lot of laps, the safety car on track, but I mean, that's the way it is. Also, I was chatting with all the guys from the Drivex. They are waiting the car to come back. They can do nothing at all. I mean, they have had an incident on track. They won for everything, trying to overtake, and finally they touched, and both cars went outside. I mean, nothing we can do. That's the race. As a team, all have to wait up for all the instruction. All the mechanics will go up to the pit lane as soon as possible to reach and to recover the car and work on it. But the race is off, and the rest of the teams of drivers are waiting on the wall, and the package is coming again from the pit lane, and there's another lap for the safety car. So waiting for the car to come here in Drivex, and the rest continue with the race. Still 14 minutes to go.
Exactly, so we are having still one more lap under safety car conditions. Well, considering the trackside assistants were still recovering those cars, I think it makes complete sense that is the case. But Miguel, I have to remind you, I have to tell you, because we were having this little bit of game between you and I was saying, I think James Egozzi maybe can get to the points paying position. He's in P12. What do you think? Does he have time to do it? He has 14 minutes, but it's still safety car. So what do you think?
I mean, I know Solov very well, and I know he wants to hunt. He wants to give something with him, bring back home something. I mean, like I'm here to try to recover for being out of the car from the winter. I'm here to try to get some used to competing again, but he wants something. He wants the win for sure, and he knows like everybody in Red Bull are watching him, so he will go for the victory. Nobody wants a clash, or nobody wants to have a touch with a partner, especially working inside of Red Bull, but I think Solov will go for it. Gladysz, if he can go inside, man, could be 3 side by side or 3 guys fighting for the victory, but I put my money on Solov. What do you think, Alex?
Well, it's the million-dollar question. I think I have to bet for our man in the lead. I think Jules Canada has been doing very, very well this weekend, and he had a great start. So, well, I don't know. Let's bet on maybe a small bean or a small coin. I don't know. We will decide what we bet, Miguel. But we will see who of them takes the big trophy, which is actually the thing that they want to win. So, but what I'm sure that we can agree on is that we're going to have a very, very nice race until the end.
So we are enjoying a lot. I mean, everybody have to understand that the guys who are coming for the first time in the live stream and watching the safety car on track, that's the way it is. I mean, there are so many people on track, all fighting for try to impress their boss, try to show the world that they are capable to compete. So the nerves and the feelings are out there. So we have to think that everybody wants to do their best. I mean, the class, and here we go and continue racing. That's it.
And we're going back into racing, and as Miguel was saying, thank you very much for bringing us all the information from the trackside. We have to remember that, especially in the case of Jules Caranta and Nikola Tsolov, yes, they may be Red Bull mates, but they are also rivals fighting for that coveted, that sweet, sweet future in Formula One. So while they may get along well, they have to do this. They have to fight side by side and try to get ahead of the rival, because if you are the quickest Red Bull guy, you are the one who has the chance to be in Formula One in the future. We are seeing Tsolov trying his best, as Miguel Portillo was saying. He was saying, I think he will go for it. Well, he is going for it. Now it's time to see if Jules Caranta can defend himself or he can't. Going on the inside, Nikola Tsolov doing it all, braking late, a parallel side by side between the two of them, holding the outside. Jules Caranta, they touch slightly, and we may have a third protagonist with Maciej Gladysz, who gets past. And I can only see, I think, one of the Red Bull cars. Something must have happened there, because one of the Red Bull cars is not there. I can only see Jules Caranta. I do not see Nikola Tsolov, who has clearly gone out of the track. And Maciej Gladysz, who takes the lead. We said it. The fight between the Red Bull drivers could be something to look out for. What we did not know was that it would happen so quickly and with such drama. Where is Tsolov? Well, we've lost one of the race contenders. We have some drivers going out of the track here in the last corner as well. And we will be looking to finding out where is Tsolov. We are only seeing the timing screens that he is very far behind and going into the pit lane. Well, that was not what they wanted to have. And I am very sure that both Caranta and Tsolov will have some explaining to do to one Dr. Helmut Marko. And we can see the car seems to be damaged. Let's see the replay. We will see how aggressive Nikola Tsolov was, braking late. Caranta did not give up. He held the outside, and they did have some bit of contact. Caranta held on, but it seems that Tsolov came out of the situation with a damaged machine. That was a shame, especially for the Bulgarian driver, who is not going to have the chance to add to his points tally. And as always, we greet our beloved fans among the racing teams who always follow the races with us. And now, of course, we have this situation where Maciej Gladysz is having a clear lead of over a second to Jules Caranta. Mattia Colnaghi, inheriting third place, could be back to the podium again. And all of this also helps James Segozzi get into the points paying positions. Well, that was an exciting race so far, and we still have 8 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Nobody move, because this is still ongoing. Maciej Gladysz is showing a fantastic pace. Almost a second and a half. And this is the Griffin Core by Campos Racing of Jules Caranta. The team clearly following what their driver is doing. But we also have to consider that he has been in literal contact with Nikola Tsolov. And that could potentially mean the car is in risk of being damaged as well. We are seeing Tsolov right here from our camera in the pit lane. That must have been a big disappointment for the Bulgarian driver. Remember, with experience in FIA Formula 3 Championship, who is finding it hard to deal with some of the very, very, very promising rookies that we are seeing in Euro Cup 3 this season. And what a pace is being shown by Maciej Gladysz. Over a second and 7/10, closing in on those 2 seconds. What speed! What speed! Frankly, he was the smartest kid of the bunch. We said it best yesterday. Do not be fooled by Maciej Gladysz. He's calm, he's collected, he's kind, he has the face of an angel, but he is as tough on the track as any of his rivals. 1.9 to Caranta. He is definitely giving it his all. He's not willing to let things happen without his input. Fastest lap also by the number 7 car. And he knows what he wants, and he knows what he needs to do to get it. And with just 5 minutes plus 1 lap to go, we are of course still keeping one of our eyes on James Segozzi, completing or continuing with his recovery race. He's up to 9th place. Of course, positions are starting to become trickier to gain at this point, but he only has 1.1 seconds to Alex Casava, who could be maybe a feasible target if he has as good a pace as we have been seeing. And this is the damage that we are seeing on the car from Nikola Tsolov. That is exactly what happened with the car from the number 8. Clear damage there, as we can see. And well, this is the kind of thing that both drivers would have wanted to avoid. But when temperatures rise and tempers flare, this is what can happen. Very, very unfortunate for Nikola Tsolov. But here's the good thing, here's the good news. He'll be back for more next. Portugal is waiting for us. And of course for Nikola Tsolov, who will be aching for vengeance. We are watching as well the fight for 3rd place with Mattia Colnaghi defending from Intra Fuvasak. Carrasquedo a little bit further behind. Emo Fittipaldi as well. Oscar Burts isn't too far ahead. So that group from almost the podium positions until the end of the top 10. Almost with no separation. Which means things are getting interesting. But here's the kicker. Just 3 minutes plus 1 lap to the checkered flag. So if any of these guys wants to do something about it, if they want to change their position, they will have to do it now. We're watching Intra Fuvasak. Number 24 for Campos Racing. Chasing Mattia Colnaghi with the number 71 MP Motorsport machine. And as we say, as we like to call it, the classic duel between the main 2 dominating squads of the recent past year in Euro Cup 3. And we are hearing that we have from our pit lane, from our man on a mission with Miguel Portillo, ready to give us some more information on what had been going on the track. So, Miguel, give us some information, much wanted information. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Alex, we go so quick because we have seen the car. Danny have shown you what happened inside because the direction seems that is okay, but it is not. It's inside where the direction touch the wheel is exactly the bow tie. We could say the bow tie where the direction have a connection with the proper wheel had broken. I mean, it was a little touch between Sholov and his partner. I told you that he will go for everything inside, and I think they could have avoided the touch, but this little contact made it broke the little piece in the contact direction with the wheel. Nicola went to the wall, talked to everybody here, say, okay, no worries, it's something that usually happens. Also, people came and realize it's really broken. So that's it, and that's racing.
Yep, exactly. We're completely right. Miguel Portillo, thank you very much for bringing us these great, very detailed images and information. You were right. Nicolas was going to go for it, and he did. I am very impressed, though, that he had the clarity of mind to say, well, this is racing. These things can happen, and often do happen in racetracks when you try to do your best. Of course, it's a good mindset, especially considering that he is the one that got the worst part of it. And what a shame that particular part of the inside of the direction, that part that is a little bit weaker, but also crucial in making direction work, has given way. But well, let's not follow it because I say it. Let's follow it because the protagonist himself says it. If Nikola Tsolov says this is racing, well, then this clearly must be racing. And what is also racing is what Maciej Gladysz is doing right now on track. 3.2 seconds away from Jules Caranta. I suspect that Jules Caranta either has a minor damage on his car, or maybe he's just chosen not to take any further risks, knowing that he could not beat the driver who is leading the race. So 3.2 between the two first place drivers, with Mattia Colnaghi further behind, 6.4 from the first place. And I think the main fight is the one that we're seeing on screen, fight for the last step of the podium. Right now it's Mattia Colnaghi ahead, and Tassanapol in Trapovasac following him from behind. The difference is so small that yes, he did not challenge him on this particular occasion, but there will be one more lap ahead of us, so there is one very good chance that he could try something. We know that not every driver has been able to succeed today, but again, this is racing and you have to try until the end. Pushing hard, as we can see. Maciej Gladysz also pulling away still. He's still going much quicker. Half a second on this lap, up to 3.7. His pace is really otherworldly. And we are into the final lap. 4 seconds between Gladysz and Caranta. That has no possible change of position unless something very dramatic happens. But where we could see a change in position is in that fight for P3. Colnaghi and Intrapovasac very close to each other, and we know that that back straight will be crucial. Now going to the left. Now a long right up the hill. And let's see what we have in store for the last big chance of overtake. I think Intrapovasac is a little bit too far, and I don't think that he will have a chance to actually try and gain that position. And indeed, Mattia Colnaghi keeps that P3 for now. And so for the last few corners, that is going to be a bit trickier, with less and less chances for the Thai driver to actually get past the winner of the first race yesterday. And we are watching the race leader. We have seen almost nothing of him because he has been excellent. After the contact between the two Red Bull drivers, Maciej Gladysz said, "This is my race and I'm taking it home. The trophy is mine." And it's a race win, first of the season for Maciej Gladysz. Wonderful race for him. And once again, a few very happy Polish fans. Jules Caranta finishes in second place. Mattia Colnaghi rounds up the podium in third, ahead of Intra Povassak, Carrasquedo in the top 5. Fittipaldi puts Abkasabal, James Egozzi. What a recovery race. P9 for him. And Kasper Stuka in that 10th place. Last 40 points. What a race we have seen today here in Jerez. Some people say you cannot overtake in this track. Well, I say to them, go and watch the race, because obviously you can. You just need to know how to do it. And we will be seeing a very, very, very happy Matthias Gladysz, who has earned his place as a race winner on his first race weekend here in Eurocup 3 Spanish Winter Championship. Very well earned. Very well earned. There will be a bit more disappointment on the Campos side, because one of the cars, of course, could not finish. We are missing one famous Nikola Tsolov, who had all the speed not to just be on the podium, perhaps to even win the race. But it was not to be. But as we said, he will have the chance to come back for more next time in just 2 weeks. And in the meantime, we are watching how the race winner is gingerly getting back to the pit lane. And I can guarantee this is almost the best time for them. Time to enjoy the win. Time to enjoy the celebrations with the team. For now, we are watching Jules Caranta stopping right behind that number 2 plate that shows he finished the race in second place. That was still a brave, brave drive by him. And while yes, it could have been a victory, it is still a very positive second place for him. And that, combined with that impressive recovery race yesterday, I think has shown that we have a talent in our hands. Number 71 as well, Mattia Colnaghi back to the podium. And so, those are the second and third place finishers. We are not seeing Matthias Gladysz here yet, but I imagine that we will soon have our protagonist with us. And if that should happen, of course that will mean that we will have our man ready to talk to him. Well, it seems that there has been a small misunderstanding. And if that is a stalled engine, then, well, maybe he might have to get to the Parc Fermé on his own foot. Well, that is a situation, and I think we can all agree that with how this weekend has been in Jerez, if the race was going to finish normally, we needed something new. We needed something different. So why not? Just having a driver walking into his number 1. Or not? Will they allow him to push his engine? Well, we're waiting. Just as Matthias Gladysz is waiting. And just as his rivals are waiting as well. Jules Caranta, we're watching him do that quick debrief after his second place. It is very important to have these moments. And finally we see the MP Motorsport guys very quick to help his winner to get to the Parc Fermé. It would have been a little bit far to have to walk all the way. And so, well, if you win a race, you deserve for your team to literally push you. And if you allow me the joke, normally it is the team that tells the driver, push, push, push. I can imagine Maciej Gladysz telling his team, push, push, push. Of course, there will be a good amount of smiles right now. And I think these guys are happy to push if that means they won the race. And so the number 7 makes it to the number 1. Maciej Gladysz, the race winner for today. What a man, what a race, and what a debut weekend for him. Some thought he should have stayed in Formula 4 and win it. He thought he had to step up to Euro Cup 3 and win it. And he has already done that, at least on a race. Let's see what he can do for the whole season. A hug with his team. Of course, big celebrations for MP Motorsport, who have all the reason to be very satisfied. They won yesterday and they win today again. They just need to change the driver. Because if you're MP Motorsport, I think all of your drivers are candidates by default. Very, very nice greeting between teammates, rivals. And I suspect Gladysz is explaining there what happened with the Red Bull guys by the gestures of his hands. I can almost imagine him saying, well, you know, I saw the space and I just went for it. Well, that was a good decision. And that was good enough to warrant him the win. So we go down with Miguel Portillo, who will have our race winner with us to tell us how that experience of winning on his first weekend was.
Maciej Gladysz, congratulations. Sometimes racing, just wait a little bit, you lose the position, you came back. Tell us how you did it.
Yeah, I mean, the start was a bit tough. I had a great start. I mean, I got overtaken by both campus drivers, but yeah, then safety car, they clipped in T6, and I managed to overtake them. So yeah, really happy. Pace was really good. When I overtook them, I managed to pull away, I don't know how many seconds, but yeah, really happy because, you know, 2 months ago I wasn't sure if I was going to race here because I had a big crash in Barcelona and broke 2 hands, so I had 2 surgeries and I wasn't sure if I was gonna race here, and yeah, wasn't sure if I would be prepared physically. So yeah, not a bad one. Happy with the first win. Hope so not the last one. Pace was great this weekend. So yeah, huge thanks to the team for the support and everyone who's been around me. So,
Perfect. So you are back. Congratulations.
yeah, thank you.
So that is the story that we have to keep in mind. Maciej Gladysz, who had surgery not so long ago, and he said it. He said it himself. I wasn't sure if I was going to be here, but I'm happy that I was. And I also saw that gesture from Jules Caranta, you know, like shrugging his shoulders, like saying, well, you know, racing is racing. Of course, that is the point of view of the Red Bull drivers, but there is one who's smiling for all of them, and that is Maciej Gladysz, who was perfect today, calm when he had to be, aggressive when he had to be, and as he said, I made up I don't know how many seconds. Well, I can tell you exactly how many seconds he took from his rival. That was in the end 4.9 seconds he took to Caranta. Miguel Portillo, we were not expecting Maciej Gladysz to do this. We were talking about Caranta, maybe sort of, and in the end, as you said, racing has these situations and you have to be prepared to take advantage of them.
Yeah, for sure. And in the inside of the team, and MP said that that's a guy who had the pace. He has to be in pole position because he has some traffic in the first qualifying. So believe me, he's going to have a good weekend. So finally, he did it. He lost the first position, but he has to be mature. And I think we have seen it. He's mature enough to try to recover. I think he did it. So maybe we're going to see him again in the podium or in a third position in the next races. About Caranta and Solov, what a pity. I think they have to talk about it. You saw Caranta going down the car, looking at his face. So, wow, maybe he was in second position, but they're not going to be happy because they're going to talk between them, with the team, with Red Bull, and with everybody. Nobody wants to see some partners having some contact.
When you see two cars with the same look, with the same livery being in contact, that's never a good thing. But anyway, Miguel, thank you very much for joining us this weekend, for helping us bring all the information from the trackside. I think this has been a very fun race, a very fun last race of the weekend. And I think it's good enough that we should stay for the podium and that we should be able to enjoy this moment of celebration with them. But I also want to hear, what are your conclusions from this first weekend of this Euro Cup 3? Because we've seen a lot of things and we probably can draw a few conclusions for the next two rounds.
Alex, I think we can see drivers super mature, super competitive. Gladysz can be here, Solov can be here. There are going to be more drivers that are going to join the grid in the next dirt races. So Euro Cup 3 definitely is the championship. Everybody wants to stay, so we're going to enjoy. And you can see everybody is super close. So Alex, we will enjoy. Congratulations on your side, and thank you everybody for staying with this live. So thank you, and bye-bye here from the grid from Jerez.
Thank you very much, Miguel Portillo, once again. It has been a great pleasure to share this time with you. And of course, we will be meeting again in just a couple of weeks' time in Portimao in the Algarve International Circuit. But for the time being, we listen to the winning anthem in honor of Maciej Gladysz. In great applause is deserved by these protagonists who have been fantastic on track. They have been great fighting for the win today. And of course, it is a deserved trophy that they will be taking home. First of all, MP Motorsport, the representative, is taking that much celebrated trophy with them. And now it will be time for the three drivers who are taking the first three positions and a lot of points, of course. Mattia Conaghi, one of the drivers that we know is going to be a threat for the championship this 2025, both in the Spanish Winter Championship and the regular season, but also Jules Caranta, who is receiving the trophy right now and who will, of course, try to convince his Red Bull bosses that he has what it takes to be a candidate for Formula 1 in the future. And the race winner, one Maciej Gladysz, who has been astonishingly good, especially after he took the lead. He showed that the speed was there, and he just said, well, you know what? See you when we see you. Time for a good picture to remember the day by, with all the protagonists on the top step of the podium. And from our side, it is time to say goodbye for this weekend. We enjoyed ourselves quite a bit in the Circuito de Jerez, Ángel Nieto, but of course this is far from over. We have still 2 more rounds of E4, 2 more rounds of Euro Cup 3, and the next one will be shared as well, just as it was here in Spain. So in just 2 weeks' time, we see everything all over again in Portimao, a racetrack known for its ups and downs, almost like a roller coaster. So look forward to that, look forward to the Algarve, look forward to the sunny south of Portugal and look forward to more Spanish Winter Championship. See you there. Keep enjoying racing.
Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, the beast back. Adrenaline pumping through my veins, can't relax. Original, I am not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never ever mind and they beeswax. I don't ever cap, but I'm wearing like 3 hats. Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy cause they all here where we at. You better believe that. When it's all said and done, I'll still be here standing. Never took a loss and it ain't something that I'm planning. I dare you to say something. My focus is A1. Every dog has its day, it's been mine since day one. This is real grind and I'm still climbing. While you still trying, I'm still shining. It's real blinding. And I'm getting hotter too. Talking top 2, I'm not a 2. You let the pressure bother you and I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard.